This is where the fun begins.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
And here we go.
Welcome back to another episode of Realish. I'm your host, LJ.
I'm Derrick.
What's good, bro?
Everything is everything, bro. How you been?
I've been all right, man. Let me tell you, man, something that makes me laugh is that we greet each other again after we've been talking for the last hour and a half.
Not just that, but doing multiple takes.
Yeah. Because, hey, audience, just so y'all know, Derrick messed up. So,
I messed up big time. Yeah, man. But that's the beauty of editing.
Yes, absolutely. Forgive me while I take a drink.
Oh, you're good, man.
I got this new Spider-Man cup.
Oh, dope. That's what that. Okay. That's dope.
I think my dog just bit my couch and ripped it.
Oh.
Hey! I'm sorry. Yeah, my friend made this. My friend Ashley. So if y'all need custom cups, Ashley Polar, get at her. She good job.
Dope. Yeah.
So I just yelled into the mic at my dog. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
Like,
Parker's
that was probably loud.
Parker's done it before. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I got a pit, a puppy pit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
She's 11 weeks now, and she's in a chewing stage. She's sitting on the couch, and I heard it sounded like a tear, and then I saw what looked like
cushion,
like the cushion. And I realized her paw's white, so
okay.
Yeah. But man, let's get into it, man. With the news, we're going to discuss a couple news stories, and then we'll get into today's topic, which is sitcoms, multi-cam sitcoms, and single-cam comedies.
Yes, sir.
But first off, I got a couple news stories. The biggest news to me might not be to y'all, but fuck y'all, I don't care. The biggest news to me is that the Hamilton. The film version of Hamilton, the Broadway show, has been pushed up to be released on Disney Plus on July 3rd.
Yes. Let me ask you a quick question. How did Disney get that? Because that's not that. Well,
money.
Yeah, it's money, but that's not their production. So
no, it's not. So basically, Lin-Manuel Miranda, the creator of Hamilton, and he starred in the original Broadway production. He has a very close working relationship with Disney. He wrote. He was one of three main writers for the music for Moana.
There's a connection. Okay.
Yeah, and also the upcoming Little Mermaid.
That was a really good movie. Moana was
an amazing movie.
I enjoyed that.
If they still had a vault, Moana's good enough to be in the vault.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For sure.
But he's writing new music with Alan Menken for the new Little Mermaid film.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's and, I mean, there's this connection. Also, David Diggs, who if you guys are rap fans, he's part of Clipping. Amazing rapper. He does have an amazing movie, by the way, which we should discuss, called Blind Spotting. I don't know if you've seen it.
That's on Netflix, right?
I don't think so.
The
Blind Spot, the NBC TV shows on Netflix. That's what you're talking about.
I swore I saw that on Netflix the other day.
It's on Vudu.
Okay, let's check it out because I am interested in watching that.
It's a great movie. But anyway, David Diggs is playing Sebastian the Crab in Little Mermaid. So there's this Hamilton connection. Yeah. There's a Hamilton connection, and you know, I mean, really, where else was it gonna go? Disney is the best place for it.
Yeah.
Now, who's I'm trying to remember? I think Warner Brothers did In the Heights, so that could have worked as well. But Disney is the best platform for it, and Hamilton has really taken the world by storm these last 5 years.
Yeah.
And so Disney would have been dumb to not jump in on it.
Is it bigger than Lion King?
Yeah.
Musical?
Yeah.
Okay.
They say it's the biggest musical since Rent.
Oh.
Now, Rent, if you're familiar with Rent, it was a gigantic show that was popular pre-social media because it's in the 90s. And so they always talk about what show was bigger. Hamilton may feel bigger because of the social media presence, but you never really know because Rent was as popular as it was without a social media presence. So
right, and they even made a film on that one, right?
yes, they did,
Yeah.
and then they also did a live show on Fox last year.
I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
But Hamilton's coming to Disney Plus on July 3rd, and it's not. I don't want to confuse the audience who may not know, but it is not a adaptation. Like In the Heights is an adaptation of the Broadway show, but this is actually like a filmed stage version of the show that was filmed over 3 nights. The director Tommy Kail, I keep hearing that he did such an amazing job with the camera work and the close-ups and to bring it so like in depth. Like I saw Hamilton twice. I saw it at the Straz in Tampa, and I literally I don't remember how many seats are in that theater, but it's a beast. Like it's gigantic, and I was the furthest away that I could possibly be. Like I could practically touch the ceiling, and and it was still amazing. But the cast looked like ants. And then I had the opportunity. I won tickets to see it in Fort Lauderdale. I forget the theater, but the tour, and the tickets I won were front row seats. And
oh wow,
yeah. So it seeing it so up close was amazing. Now imagine with these up close shots and stuff like that, it's going to be amazing. One of the funny things from when I saw it in Fort Lauderdale is the fact that Hamilton is such an interesting thing because it's a musical told through hip hop and R&B, as well as some show tunes, but it's primarily hip hop and R&B, and which you would not think would work because they did the Tupac musical. I forget the name of it. Holler if you can hear me. That
I remember hearing about that.
That used Tupac songs to tell a non-Tupac story, which is very interesting, and I think I would like it, but the Broadway audience would not like it, and they didn't. It closed after like 2 weeks.
Wait, so hold on. They
used all of Tupac's music, and they created a fictional story to set around the music.
Oh, so it wasn't based on his life.
No. So I mean, it's an interesting theme for sure.
Is that something that's out?
Nah, it wasn't. It closed after like 2 weeks.
Okay. Man, I would love to watch that.
They did do a production in Atlanta like 2 years ago. They did like a 3-month production.
You know what's sad? I live in Atlanta. I've never been to the Fox.
You should probably go to the Fox.
Once
Hamilton's going to the Fox. I mean, tickets are expensive, but I know you'll love the movie. But try to get tickets to see it live because
once this whole thing ends, I think I'll try that because I wanted to go there to see The Lion King. But I've never seen the stage play for it, so I definitely wanted to go see that musical. But whatever's here, I'll definitely go check out.
So Hamilton, I don't know if you know this, but let me tell you, this should not work in any way. Should this not work? It's a musical about our founding. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My Siri started talking to me. Sorry. It's a musical about our founding fathers, told through hip hop and played by people of color. And you would not think
that should work.
There's no way that should work. I got sidetracked, but it plays into that. When I saw it in Fort Lauderdale, there was a older lady, and that's something that's amazing to me too. You would think that maybe only people who like hip hop would like this. Everybody wants in on Hamilton.
Yeah, I've seen stories of people that have been trying to get tickets to see the musical for a long time. That's interesting.
So this lady, she's easily 70 years old, and she had a binder on her lap, a thick ass binder, and she was talking to the lady next to her, and she's like, Did you know that Hamilton is told through hip hop rap lyrics? And the other lady's like, no, actually, I didn't know that. And the old lady that was sitting next to me, she's like, yeah, see, I know that I wouldn't be able to keep up, so I printed all the lyrics out so I could read along. It was amazing. And I don't know if she was keeping up, but she was turning the pages. But so Hamilton, how it came to be, Lin was on vacation, or it might have been right after he stepped down from playing Usnavi in the Heights. But he was going on vacation with his wife, and he was some vacation spot on the beach, and he's like, you know what, I need to get a book so I can just sit back, chill, read this book, and relax. And he picked up the Alexander Hamilton book by Ron Chernow. Who's a big historian, and he writes a lot. Like, he has a book on Hamilton, book on Washington, and a couple other people. By the way, this book is actually really good. Like, I'm not much of a reader. I can read, by the way. I don't enjoy it. So he's reading it, and as he's going through the book, as Lynn's going, he's talked about this. As he's going through the book, basically, he's realizing that each of these historical figures are very reminiscent of popular hip-hop figures.
That is interesting.
And so as he's going, he's like, you know what? Maybe there's a concept album in this. So he started creating a concept album with that told the story of Alexander Hamilton. And as he formed the characters and he wrote it to be reminiscent of specific hip-hop people from hip-hop that we know and love. Lynn showed the first song to Tommy Kail, who directed In the Heights. And Tommy said, no, this is not a concept album, this is a Broadway smash.
Oh, wow.
Keep writing.
Okay.
And obviously it became just that. Now, I think if you listen to it, and when you listen to it, you'll be able to spot him. But I'll say, like, Lynn has said that Alexander Hamilton is stylistically based off of Eminem and Big Pun.
Really?
Yes. And I'm looking at it here, and it's
based
an interview
off personalities or
personality, rhyme schemes. Okay. I almost said vocabulary, but also just rhythm.
Okay.
So basically, like, this says, as for who inspired the show's title character, Miranda says that Hamilton's desire to always be the smartest one in the room led to Miranda's writing the polysyllabic, I think is how I can read. Okay, polysyllabic rhymes that made his character the son of Big Pun and Eminem, with lines like, I'm past patiently waiting, I'm passionately smashing every expectation. That's Eminem and Big Pun. Like that.
Yeah. I am intrigued. I am highly intrigued.
You should be. And then they have a character, supporting character named Hercules Mulligan. He's a real person. And even when you just listen to that name, who's Hercules Mulligan?
Who would you liken that to? I'm drawing a blank.
Busta Rhymes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got
yes.
Yeah. It's Busta Rhymes. Like, he has a bar that goes, bruh, I am Hercules Mulligan, up in it, loving it. Yes, I heard your mother say, come again. Lock up your daughters and horses. Of course, it's hard to have intercourse over 4 sets of corsets. No more sex. Pour me another brew, son. Like you kind of you get that rhythm.
Yes.
I probably did awful at that, but like
no. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this.
I honestly, like, you could quiz me. Like, if you were to give me 2 bars, I could follow up the next 8. Any song.
Hey, that's dope.
But then also George Washington is Lynn has said is a mix between, because he raps and sings in the show. He's his rapping is similar to Common. It's pulled from Common style. His singing is John Legend. It's when you watch it on July 3rd, watch it on July 3rd, please. And you'll notice, man, that it's
phenomenal.
And it's not just that; it's the music too. It's the instrumentation. Okay. I'm going to show you probably if you're a hip hop head, which you are. But to the audience, if you guys are hip hop heads, you will know this immediately. So I'm going to play this for you, and it's obvious too from the title of it. I'm going to play it for you. You tell me what song this is inspired from and who it was by.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 dual commandments. It's the 10 dual commandments.
10 commandments about this.
Yeah.
Demand satisfaction.
Like,
they apologize.
And you know, because this takes place in when our country was being formed. What was a big thing? You know what I mean? Like it was duels, like that. Like when there was an issue, you would duel. Yes. So here, it sets up the rules for a duel. Like
okay, so this comes out July 3rd.
July 3rd.
I will be watching.
Now I don't know if you would liken this to watching trailers, but Hamilton is not your typical musical where there are like 16 songs between Act 1 and 2, and there's a lot of dialogue in between. Hamilton is completely musical performance from beginning to end.
Okay.
So the album, and Lin did that on purpose. Lin, there was a time where he dabbled with having dialogue and scenes and stuff like that, but he knew that it was going to be something big, or at least he had hoped, and that and you know, some people can't get to New York, even if it wasn't big. Some people can't get to New York to see a show, and then when you listen to a cast album, there are definitely key story elements that you're missing out on because you're missing the scene work. So Hamilton is completely musical performance from start to finish. So if you wanted to, you could listen to the album on Spotify or Apple Music, and you're not missing anything except for seeing it.
So the album, the movie is how long?
It'll be about 3 hours.
Is the album that long too?
Yep. Indeed.
That's crazy.
And I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this album top to bottom.
Bro, I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to that one. That's gonna be good.
Okay. It's 2 hours and 22 minutes. So give or take, probably about 2.5 hours the movie will be. There's one particular thing that's in the show that isn't in here, so it is a little longer. But so about 2.5 hours. And then you know there is an intermission which makes you there about 3 hours. So
is that the longest album?
No.
Produced?
Mm-mm.
What is?
No. I have no idea, but I know it's not that.
Because that 2.5 hours, that's.
But let me tell you this: the year this came out, 2015, Hamilton was the number one streamed and purchased album of that year.
Jeez,
what else came out in 2015? Drake came out in 2015.
Yeah.
Did Kanye not come out in 2015?
If it was a 15, it was 16. And let me see.
And I'm just mentioning hip hop because that's all I listen to. But
Kendrick may have came out with something at that time. But I know Drake actually came out 2 albums. 15.
To Pimp a Butterfly came out in 15.
Pimp a Butterfly, yeah. That's phenomenal.
Vince Staples. Yeah, Drake, if you're reading this, is too late. Trash album. That's another discussion.
That is another discussion.
Adele came out. Adele's gigantic, and I don't mean in weight. That's not what I meant. Leave her alone. She's wonderful. Y'all.
I love Adele, man.
I do too.
I love Adele. I hate that she has to go through such heartache for us to get
people are awful.
Exceptional.
She's amazing.
Oh,
she's amazing,
bro. There was a time where I wanted to be her Stedman.
How are people gonna make fun of her for being bigger, and then make fun of her for being skinny? What do you want?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I was just shocked that she cut her hair.
You're
That was
worried
that
about
was
the hair.
that was the only thing that blew me away, because not that she cut her hair, but the fact that it just looked uneven. That was my biggest concern. Is like, what, like, who did that?
What's she doing, girl?
Yeah, like, what's going on? Like, but I do know, this whole settlement thing. That's a lot of money that she had.
But on top of them, The Weeknd dropped.
Yes.
At Long Last, ASAP dropped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Dre's Compton dropped.
And that was a good album.
Lana Del Rey dropped. Srem Life dropped.
And so, hold on.
What a Time to Be Alive dropped.
Hamilton was above all these albums.
The number one most streamed and purchased album of 2015.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
That's a lot of competition.
So what does that tell you about Hamilton?
Kendrick Lamar being out at that time. Because we were looking forward to seeing his next album after Good Kid, Mad City. Yeah. So that's phenomenal to be able to.
But what does that tell you about Hamilton?
It's very popular.
And that's the thing, is like, it's not just popular here in the States, it's popular everywhere.
Yeah.
It's popular everywhere, dog. Like West End has a production. Like it's a staple. West End is the equivalent to Broadway in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
It's a staple there. There's literally there's 3 tours in North America going at once
for Hamilton.
3 separate tours all going at once, plus Broadway, plus UK.
Oh, that's
and they're gearing up to do what's the word I'm looking for? International tours.
Okay.
So, man, how many productions are going to be going on at once, dog?
How
like,
much money is that?
listen. Lynn's final performance. Now, let me tell you, the cheapest ticket, even now today, with several different casts come and gone, especially obviously including the original tickets. The cheapest ticket now on Broadway is $500. The cheapest ticket. Now, on average, I can go see Dear Evan Hansen, which is a very popular Broadway show. I could go see Lion King. I can go see The Temptations. I can go see these shows and get the cheapest ticket for $60. Beetlejuice, I can go see it for $60.
Mm-hmm.
But still, to this day, 5 years after coming out, the cheapest ticket at Richard Rodgers is $500.
That's a lot.
So the night that Lynn's final night, obviously a lot of tickets were bought and they were being sold online and scalpers and stuff like that. One of the worst seats in the house was sold for $12,000.
What?
Hamilton's a big deal, dog.
That's like, I don't even think
I barely make that in a year.
I don't even think courtside seats are more than 3,000 for like the finals.
Hamilton. So it was a phenomenon. Like, that's the only way that you can really describe it.
Okay. Well, so I'll tell you what. You got me really intrigued to watch this.
So are you gonna listen to the album before it drops, or are you gonna wait?
I'm gonna wait.
Watch it?
I'm gonna wait because I don't like. See, I don't like the story for anything that I'm going to watch to be ruined in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
I don't like my opinion being diluted with things like that. That's why I don't watch trailers, because you see one thing in trailers and then you go see the movie and then it's a total different movie. Because even what some people don't understand is that some trailers come out before the film is even finished. Mm-hmm. They're already made by that point. So
well, and there was that a lot of people were mad. I don't understand why people were mad, but because this happens all the time. But there's the scene or the clip in the Infinity War trailer that involved the Avengers running towards the camera and
Yes,
you had Hulk in
yes,
Hulk form. But if
yes.
you've seen Infinity War, Hulk
He's
doesn't
in the
go back.
Hulk Buster.
Hulk's in the Hulk Buster. You only see Hulk
Yeah.
in Hulk form in the opening
In the
scene.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, he got scared.
yeah. Now we'll go off on that, so we need to be
Yeah,
careful.
yeah.
But I'll say for Hamilton, so many people got their start in Hamilton.
Yes.
Like they were
Right.
definitely great actors before, but they
Mm-hmm.
blew. Like Lynn, obviously like Lynn did the new Mary Poppins movie. He was the co-star in the Mary Poppins movie. He
Which
did
I refuse
Moana.
to see.
He wrote I'm not saying anything. He wrote the music for Moana. He's writing the music for Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
David Diggs, he's Sebastian in Little Mermaid, and he did Blind Spotting, which is an amazing movie, like we talked about. He is the star of the new TNT show, the television adaptation of Snowpiercer. Um,
Oh, which I was actually about to watch that movie the other day, and I
it's a
forgot
good movie.
what
It's a good
deterred
movie.
me from it. But I'm gonna check that out. I'm
Yeah,
definitely
and the
gonna check that one
show
out.
drops the end of this month, I think.
Oh, the show
Um,
isn't out yet.
no, like
Oh,
May 24th or something like that.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'll
Um,
check that out. So I can get on
but
that.
but I like, and the list goes on. Like Anthony Ramos, like I love Anthony Ramos.
Mm.
He's done so many movies since Hamilton, um, and it's funny because Lynn recently had shared a screenshot. You know how like Facebook says like on this day so many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and Twitter does the same thing. He posted a screenshot from like 2014, something like that. Lynn
Mm-hmm.
had did a production for like a college. Like I don't really know. Like they were doing like news stories, turning them into musical productions, and he did one that was about police officers going undercover in high school, similar to 21 Jump Street. Um,
Oh,
and it's like a 15-minute musical. I'll send it to you. I think you'll actually like
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But Lynn wrote it. It's called 21 Chump Street, and Lynn
Okay.
was like the narrator for it, and
Uh,
Anthony Ramos was like the star student,
okay.
um, or the star of the show. And Lynn had posted like a screenshot of that. He made a post in 2014 or whatever, said him and Anthony Ramos, and said this kid's a star.
Oh, wow.
And then he put him in Hamilton. Obviously, he auditioned and stuff like that. And now, like Anthony Ramos is doing a ton of movies, dog. Like he's the star. Lynn cast him as Usnavi in the Heights movie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He was in the Godzilla movie, the new joint. I haven't seen it.
I refuse to watch Godzilla.
He was all right. So he in the Heights coming out.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Godzilla, King of Monsters. He was the star of Netflix's version of She's Gotta Have It by Spike Lee.
Okay. Okay.
He played Mars. He was in A Star Is Born, did a couple episodes of Will and Grace. He did the movie Monsters and Men, the indie movie Patty Cakes, which is an amazing movie. Listen.
A Star Is Born was really good.
When I say Anthony Ramos,
Phenomenal.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know
Ramon?
exactly. Yes, yes, I know
Yeah,
exactly what
yeah,
you're talking about. That was a phenomenal movie. We might have to
Great
do an
movie.
episode on that one too.
Yeah.
That was
But and I'll move on because we've talked about Hamilton a ton. But it's just Hamilton is that big and that important and that like I'll say this: Hamilton. I had not acted in 2 years before Hamilton dropped.
really.
I had not. When I listened to the cast album of Hamilton, it inspired me to create. Lynn is one of my biggest inspirations. I loved In the Heights, and In the Heights to me, both are amazing. I connect more with In the Heights because it's modern day and whatever. But Hamilton inspired me to create again. I hadn't created in a long time. So
Man.
my film, A Dream, came out of being inspired by Hamilton.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why it's so important to me, and I can't wait to discuss it with you.
Yeah,
I
we'll
wonder if
definitely
there's
get
a
on that.
way. I wonder if there's a way we can watch it here on Zoom or something like that together. So maybe we can pause it and discuss it as we go or something like that.
We could figure out how to
Because
do
that'd be
all
cool.
that.
I'd like to watch that with you.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
All right, so on to the next bit of news to get away from Hamilton. It is sad news. The hilarious and great Jerry Stiller passed away. You guys know Jerry Stiller from everything. I mean,
Seinfeld,
King of Queens, Hairspray,
Zoolander.
Zoolander.
Oh man, I love that dude, man.
So rest in peace to Jerry Stiller. He was always hilarious. And one thing that I thought was cool is like Seinfeld came out and said anything that you've seen him do on the show, he was never directed. He was never given notes. He did what he thought was best, and it was best. It was he was spot on perfect. So
I'm not gonna scream it, but when he said Serenity Now, like that episode, oh my god. I want to go back and watch Seinfeld.
On Hulu. I mean, I own it on DVD. I could even send it to you, but
bro, I have to, I forgot it is on Hulu. I'm gonna check it out because that show is hilarious. Larry David, by the way, doesn't get as much recognition as he should.
For that, he gets recognition for Curb.
For that, he doesn't get as much recognition. But Jerry Stiller, man, 92 years old, so I guess he can't really say gone too soon.
His wife had passed away the year before.
Yeah. So it's understandable. It was like, but when I heard it, I was hurt. That's a good dude, man. That's funny guy.
Yeah. All right, man. So rest in peace to Jerry Stiller. This next thing is a bit of a 1-2 news, a bit of an A-B news. I'm gonna give you 1 or A, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Get your reaction, and then I'm gonna give you the B, and we'll see what you think. Okay. If you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen me mention this morning. But it is confirmed that there is a Scarface reboot coming.
Yeah.
Should there be true? It's true. Should there be a Scarface reboot coming? That's been confirmed. As much as that it is coming, there because they just attached a director 3 days ago.
Yeah, but is it true Michael B. Jordan is?
That was my B. He's not confirmed.
Okay.
He's not confirmed. You ruined my B, dog.
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. I had it set up and everything. And there's a reason he was Michael B. Jordan. Listen. Michael B. Jordan is one of my favorite contemporary actors. Yeah. He has been. The Wire, Friday Night Lights, that was the start for me. Yeah. And every film, does he have a bad film?
There was one that he did, Fahrenheit.
I haven't seen it. That was the one I was going to ask about. It's on HBO.
Started it and I didn't get into it. I was like, I'm good. Okay. I'm not to say that it was a bad movie, but it
wasn't for you.
What I saw, it just wasn't for it. Just I tried, it just wasn't for me.
So with him being one of my favorite actors, and for me to say what I'm about to say, well, 1, I don't want a Scarface reboot. Leave it alone,
bro.
2, I
have a Scarface poster. I'm sorry, Scarface is back here.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see that.
I don't want it, and I don't want Michael B. Jordan to play Tony Montana.
It doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right, and I love Michael B. Jordan, but it doesn't seem right that he is Tony Montana.
Now, question is, now they haven't confirmed this, but in your opinion, if they're doing the Scarface reboot, will it take place in the same timing as the original, or is it going to be contemporary?
If they're going to redo it, I would prefer that they just revamp it, make it modern.
But will they do that?
No.
So is it believable? I don't see it. Is it believable, given the context of that time period, to have Michael B. Jordan play Tony Montana?
No. I want to see a Cuban play Tony Montana. Mm-hmm. is like, okay, so this is my problem. Like, with certain movies, you know, I'm okay with certain characters being different race, but specific characters when their story now.
I was perfectly fine with Michael B. Jordan being Human Torch.
Yes,
I was
yes,
fine with it. I don't
yes.
care.
Now, Al Pacino's Scarface is a remake. You know, the original I think was like it came out in the 30s, I think. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that character was from Cuba. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But
I don't know.
Because I haven't watched it, I haven't studied the film, so I can't. I might, if correct me if I'm wrong. Whoever's in the audience that hears this later on, I might be wrong. I am fine with saying it. I might be wrong, but I believe that he was from Cuba. If not, he was Hispanic or something. There was something along those lines. I want to see that. Can we see a Hispanic actor, Cuban actor, someone along those lines play this role? Someone that's new. Because if you're gonna reboot it, I would rather see it with someone that's new that can make a name for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see that. Let me see someone that's new, see what they can bring to the table, and move on from there. Michael B. Jordan, if you're gonna do it with him as Tony Montana, one, it doesn't make sense to say he's Cuban. Doesn't even look Cuban. So why do that?
Now
Put
Michael
it
B.
in New
Jordan's
York.
being Michael B. Jordan's being rumored to play Tony Montana, but also to play Superman. Give him Superman. I'm fine with that. That'd be an interesting take.
Okay. So here's my position on that.
Mm-hmm.
Superman gets his powers from the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense that he's black, just off that theory alone.
Okay.
Because melanin, you know, it would make sense.
Yep.
I don't trust DC at all.
I trust it more with JJ and James Gunn involved. Now, we haven't seen what they could do with it yet, but they're both involved. That's official.
Okay.
They're helming the future of the DCEU. Now, that's post Harley Quinn. We know how we both felt about that movie. And I think it's Wonder Woman. Listen. Wonder Woman, the first film, it's amazing. We've had this discussion of my fear for Wonder Woman 2. Trailer is trash. Patty Jenkins has confirmed that. Okay, so listen. They're rebooting the DCEU, okay? That was confirmed during the production of Wonder Woman 1984. Okay. Patty Jenkins had the opportunity to do what Aquaman did. Aquaman didn't really tie in with Justice League. Aquaman didn't tie in.
Yeah, Aquaman was on its own.
On its own. Yeah. And that way we can continue using Jason Momoa, which we should in the future.
No, listen. No one else should be Aquaman. No one.
Now, Patty Jenkins has said that Wonder Woman 1984 is a follow-up to the previous Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And Chris Pine is in it, playing Trevor, who died.
We watched him blow up in the air. Unless this dude jumped out and just you don't see him, like I don't see how he survived that. I don't see it.
Now the trailer does show that he's like confused or whatever, and it's like, but
so he's dazed. Okay, say I'm not even gonna watch the movie, man.
No,
I'm not gonna watch it.
But my big thing here is that bothers me. But the big thing is talked about in BVS, talked about in Justice League, talked about it, I believe, in Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
that she did not do anything heroic in between the end of the story when Trevor died and in the first Wonder Woman. In between then and BVS. So what the fuck is happening in 1984?
They're banking on people just ignoring, and see, to bring it back to Michael B. Jordan, like DC right now, as currently constructed, I don't trust them. I don't. Now, if they're gonna restart everything, my thing is reboot it, and I guess certain people keep, like, you have to keep Jason Momoa.
Got to keep
Um,
Margot Robbie. She's wonderful.
Margot Robbie, she's wonderful, but that Harley Quinn movie, just I didn't see anything. I, far be it from me. I would like to see Harley Quinn with Joker. Period. I just want to see them together.
I understand why they did this.
I understand it. It's also coming off the heels of not the heels, but they're trying to go along the wave of the women empowerment movement, and I understand that. I understand it. I support it, but the film itself made no sense. But if you're gonna reboot and you're gonna bring Superman in, personally, I actually love Henry Cavill.
Trash.
I loved
Fuck him.
his
Trash. Fuck him. Fuck him.
I loved
Trash.
his Superman. I ain't going front.
No, trash.
Because I actually wanted Tom Welling to do it, but
He still should do it.
you know. But if you're gonna reboot it and put Michael B. Jordan in it, I'm not upset about it.
Can we please get
But I just need a
Rosenbaum to play
story.
Lex Luthor in the DCEU?
Please. See now,
He said he'll do it. He said he'll do it. He would love
See,
to do it.
if you bring him in as Lex
Mhm.
and have Michael B. Jordan as Superman, I wouldn't be mad at that. I also wouldn't be mad at seeing Tom Welling reprise the role.
It's not gonna happen. But
It's not going to happen. But I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
When it comes to Scarface, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Now, like I said, if you're going to make Michael be Tony Montana, then that has to be
shift the storyline.
You have to shift the storyline. You have to change the name, and I don't want to change the name. Tony Montana, like the with the accent, it just works. Like, so what are you gonna do with that? Are you gonna change the name? Are you gonna keep him? What's the idea with that?
My fear is that they're gonna
Jordan as with a Hispanic accent. I can't see that.
My fear is that they're gonna make it American Gangster.
Now, American Gangster was actually a really good movie.
That's fine. That's a great movie. Don't make Scarface American Gangster.
I don't want to see that. No.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
I love American Gangster.
Yeah.
What I feel like if they do shift it, they will shift it to the 80s.
Yeah. And then that,
because that makes sense. That would make a little more sense. The
time period,
crack and look.
Yeah.
Can we just tell an original story though? Like I'm not one to be against. I'm not against reboots or stuff like that.
I'm against reboots when they're poorly done. Reboots make sense in the fact that you're trying to retell a story to a new generation.
And even and as far as superheroes go, we can reboot them all day because there's thousands of storylines from the comic books. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
We don't need to reboot Scarface.
Yeah,
which sounds silly because Scarface was a reboot, but
yeah, but I want Scarface in Florida, in Miami. That I want him with the accent.
Let's make Will Smith Tony Montana.
I would rather see that. To be completely honest,
yeah,
I would rather see that. But after his accent and concussion, I don't trust Will Smith. Not with an accent. I'm sorry, man. Not with an accent, man. That just.
I didn't even hate that movie. I hated the accent, but I didn't hate that movie.
The movie itself was solid, but that accent, that was the time to choose someone else for that role. And I love Will Smith. We were just talking about him before we started recording.
Should have got Chadwick.
See, yes, that
Chadwick, who is also so done with Black Panther.
Oh, dude, you could tell with the first tour that he was on with that film, media tour, that he was done. You could tell. He went from doing this all proud to just being like.
He's out after 2, right? He's out.
Yeah, they've already confirmed it. And
because he's done his contract with 2.
Yeah, which at that
and now
point,
we'll get Shuri. Just give me Shuri. I want Shuri. I love Letitia Wright is amazing. Give me Shuri.
I love her. At that point, I wouldn't even be mad at Killmonger taking on the Black Panther role.
Killmonger's dead.
No, he's not.
I hope not, because I love Killmonger.
They're bringing him back. They have to bring him back. When I saw that, I felt something in my heart, and then I started thinking of it when the movie was over. They could bring him back.
He's a new Loki. He's a new Loki. Go from good to bad, or from bad to good.
From bad to good, yeah. So I could see that transition.
Yeah,
I could see it, and then he just becomes a new Black Panther. We've already seen him in the suit.
I still want Letitia Wright though.
But I want Letitia. Yeah. So you think Letitia Wright takes over Black Panther? Because
happens in the comic books.
It does, but this is the only reason why I want to see Black Panther as portrayed by either Chadwick Boseman or Michael B. Jordan. For one simple fact, I want to see his relationship with Storm, so you can introduce X-Men. I want to see that. You do that, then move on.
I just read. I'm trying to remember what. Oh, that X-Men are going to be introduced in Falcon and Winter Soldier show.
Is that confirmed?
It's not confirmed, but I guess production stills seem to prove it. No. I did. We're so off subject. We always do.
We are.
But I
Michael
read
B. Jordan as Scarface. Bad idea.
Bad idea. I read this morning a theory about Black Widow. Now I could buy this. That Black Widow is alive and stranded on Vormir. I can buy this, and the theory states this. The theory states that there was a loophole. The loophole was this. She was not sacrificed by somebody. She sacrificed herself.
So that is very solid. That's a great point. But how did Hawkeye get the Soul Stone?
Confusion. is the best. Now I say that because somebody died. Somebody died. And there was love in her heart for Hawkeye, which, the sacrifice goes somebody you love, right? Now she sacrificed herself, and it appeared to have been like because nobody's just jumping. Nobody's jumping. So they just believed that somebody was, the spirit may have just believed that somebody was sacrificed, and then when the stone came back, perhaps maybe she came back to life, and that was the loophole. Because I don't believe Black Widow's done. We're getting the prequel, but I believe we are going to get a 2 and 3 because the prequel is taking place post-Civil War. Yes, it's taking place in between Civil War and Infinity War.
Yes.
So I believe, I have believed
at
this.
Post-credit state, they jump forward to present day, and she
is awake on Vormir.
I'm not mad at that.
Because I don't want to be done with Black Widow.
I'm not mad at that. I like Black Widow.
Yeah.
But
and she should have got her solo years ago.
Oh, bro. Like right after Iron Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right after Iron Man 2, yeah.
And now let me ask you, this is my opinion. Everybody disagrees with me. I haven't read a theory on this. This is my theory from me, and you might disagree. Okay, so the end of Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man snaps, and everybody that has come from the past with Thanos, they're dusting or whatever. They're going away. Everybody, for some reason, expects Gamora to be in the new Guardians. Now, at the end of Endgame, it's currently missing Gamora. Well, why do you think she's missing when everybody else dusted and is gone? So why would Gamora? I think Gamora's gone. Because I don't think Iron Man's thinking, let's save Gamora when he's snapping. Let's get rid of all these motherfuckers. And that's it.
Didn't she's not come back?
She came back in the end in Endgame with this is now remember she died in Infinity War at Vormir. Now this is past tense pre-Guardians 1 Gamora.
Right.
So why would she still be alive and missing if
I
everybody else from that time period dusted?
didn't she stay around at the end of the movie?
Nope, we did not see her after the snap.
So you think that's it for Gamora?
I think it should be. I don't know that it will
I
be.
like Gamora, man. I
I
don't
like
want to see her.
Gamora, but let's stop killing people to bring them back, because then these deaths are not going to have any impact.
They're not. They're not. And I'll tell you. Actually, I'll tell you the death that made no sense to me when I saw it was Spider-Man, because when we saw him fading off, I was sitting. I was like, Spider-Man 2 has already been confirmed. So
Well, and that was just dumb on Marvel's side to
that was
announce
bad
these
timing.
shows or these films when.
Yeah, that was bad timing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's possible that Gamora stays.
But why? When everybody else is dusted and gone.
The ones that dusted was like Thanos's army and all that, right? I don't remember the time
his army.
Because they talked about the different ways that time that timeline can just like readjust. Mm-hmm. So if you bring past Gamora to the future, and she stays,
but
she had to change her heart.
Okay, but how does she? It doesn't matter. Her heart doesn't matter. Iron Man's not thinking of her heart when he's snapping to kill Thanos and his army.
Okay, so you're saying
to kill the past tense people,
right? So you're saying that I see what you're saying. There's no need for her to stay then.
No. Now I love Gamora. Zoe Saldana is wonderful. She's an amazing actress. She's dead.
That makes sense.
And that will add to. Oh, and by the way, it's also been confirmed that after Guardians 3, this will be the last we see of that team. That there will be a new Guardians team coming.
Well, they are now the Asgardians.
But I'm saying Drax, Rocket, Star-Lord. I read that it's been confirmed that they're done. Because with 3 they tell their story.
What's the point of continuing the story if they're done? That's what I don't get.
No, their story will be wrapped up in 3. It's the last bit of their story.
So that's the last. We'll see them together. Not that their storylines are done.
We're getting Thor 4 before we're getting Guardians 3. So that as Guardians of the Galaxy is fuck all. Like it's gone.
Okay. That's true.
And that's just because of Disney's thing with James Gunn. And then he had signed on to do the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I'm confused. I'll just say that. I'm confused because I don't know how this all works. I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah. All right, let's run through these next 3 real quick. Bit of news that is very exciting for me because I love the show. FX's Dave has been renewed for his season 2.
I have not watched this first season yet.
You're nuts. This show is one of the best shows on TV right now.
Okay.
Dave,
I'm gonna check it out.
They said Dave is the biggest FX success in the last 10 years.
Ooh. You had Sons of Anarchy. Ooh, yeah. That's big.
FX, I mean Dave is hysterical.
Check it out.
There's a scene where Lil Dicky is in the mall at the store and he's with his friend and his friend says to these 2 gang members is that, hey, y'all need to take a picture with my boy Lil Dicky because he's the next hip hop star that's gonna fucking blow. And they're kind of hesitant. They're like, all right, whatever, we'll take a picture. And so in the show, I don't know if Lil Dicky actually does this, but he does this like Lil Dicky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they take the picture, and the gang members are doing it too. And so he turns, he's like, oh, y'all are doing the Lil Dicky thing, and he's like, nah, bruh, that's Crips. He's like, wait. Y'all mean to tell me that this whole time I've been throwing up gang signs every time I do this? That is just hysterical.
Oh man. Okay. I'll check that out. I'll check that out.
You got to, and it's 10 episodes,
Yeah.
12 maybe.
See, that's another thing. Shows for the last few years are going toward that model where it's 8
And
to 12 episodes.
That's more attractive for an actor anyway. So you're not like
It is
like these
Schedule's
CW
not
shows.
bogged down.
These CW shows they go 11 months 10 months at a time, 2-month hiatus, and it's just not. Whereas like with a 13 episode season, you're in and out 4 or 5 months, and then you have time to do films,
other projects,
other television shows, Broadway, whatever you want to do. So FX's Dave renewed for season 2. It's exciting. Watch it, and we can talk about it, man. I love that show.
I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out.
Now there was yet another streaming service launched a few weeks ago called Quibi. Stands for Quick Bites. And it has been announced that they have failed to meet expectations, and Katzenberg is blaming COVID-19, which confuses me because you would think if everybody's at home, they would be streaming more.
Yeah, and not only that, but because the way they shoot, they can shoot different things. You can just shoot it with your phone.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense.
I'll tell you this, because they did a 3-month free trial. I joined it because I wanted to see some of the things. They had the reboot of Punk'd on there, hosted by Chance the Rapper. It's good.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay.
That's really good. It's very good.
Okay.
I tried watching other stuff.
Okay.
And everything's 10 minutes or under. So it depends on what type of consumer you are. If I'm gonna watch something 10 minutes or under, I'm gonna go on YouTube and watch David Dobrik's vlogs. You know what I mean? Like, I like longer, slower story builds. Okay. Have you watched Bloodline on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say we need to discuss that because that is one of the slowest burning shows I've ever seen, but one of the best shows I've ever seen too.
Between that and Ozark.
Yeah. I got Bloodlines over Ozark. Yeah, it is.
But that was good.
And let me tell you, because it was so long in between season 1 and 2, I still haven't watched 2 because I don't remember everything from 1, and I don't want to rewatch 1 because it's so slow.
How about I just started watching it?
2?
I started it. No, the first season.
Yeah.
I watched it when it first came out, and the first episode just kind of I was like, this is not. I'm good, and then I just turned it off.
Yeah.
Kept hearing about it for season 2. Then I heard season 3 and like, okay, hold up. Let me go check it out. I am so glad I did, man. I think I watched that I watched all 3 seasons within 2 weeks, I think.
Wow. People want to just say Bateman is only good at comedy, but Bateman is a beast.
Bateman, bro.
Not just Ozark. He has a show. Not yet, but I've heard like how crazy that is.
Man, mad props to him because he has now found like another level to build on.
It's a similar thing. Now, of course, he's acting, but it's reminiscent to me of Jordan Peele.
Yes, that's a great comparison. Yeah,
like, and I don't just mean in like a horror genre, but just like a different tone. Like it's not just comedy. Now I think remember I'm young because I know he did like Teen Wolf 2, which I can only imagine was bad.
Yeah, I never watched Teen Wolf.
Did you ever watch Teen Wolf 1?
I didn't watch any. No.
Now I'll say this: MTV did the series of Teen Wolf. Badass. That's a good show.
See, I didn't watch. Nothing Teen Wolf I watched.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's a good show. It's pretty good. I've heard Scream is good too on MTV, but I haven't watched it.
I didn't care to.
Tyga's in it, so it makes me not want to watch it.
Yeah, I didn't care to watch it. I like Scream. I love the movies.
Yeah.
I think they're good, but I didn't care to watch this show because they just didn't make any sense to me. I saw 2 or 3 seconds of like the trailer, and nothing snagged me at what I saw. So I said, I'm good, man.
All right, so on to our last bit of news. COVID has taking something big from the Broadway community. They've announced that Broadway's Frozen is closing and will not reopen once theaters open. And this is tough because
Frozen, as in the Disney movie.
The Frozen, they had a Broadway show. They
Oh,
adapted it to Broadway, and
okay.
it's only been open like a little less than a year, maybe a year.
Okay.
And you would think like Frozen should last because Frozen was a smash hit.
Yeah, and 2, from what I heard, was good as well.
It was pretty good.
I need to
really
check
good.
both of those
It's
out.
on Disney Plus. It was good.
I need to check both those out.
You haven't seen one?
Mm-mm. That song wrecked my mind. Hearing it all over the
Watch
place.
2. Into the Unknown. It'll wreck your mind too.
Okay.
It's a good song though. It's better than Let It Go, but I'll say it's sad, especially now because I don't remember her name. I want to get it right. You don't watch the CW shows.
Not anymore. Once Smallville was gone, I kind of left right there.
So they had an actress that Sierra something. She's a black actress, and she had just been cast as Elsa in Frozen, and I think she had only did like 2 weeks of shows before it closed, maybe a month, and that is just heartbreaking to me.
A black Elsa.
Yeah.
How did she do?
I didn't see it. I'm sure she did wonderful. She's a great actress.
Okay. I mean, that's great. That's great. Because see, my thing is, I don't know much about the story to have an opinion on like whether you can change the races of the character. I don't know anything about the story.
Yeah,
but I'm down with that if that's the case that they did it.
They had also, well, since you haven't seen it, this won't mean anything to you, but they had the character Kristoff was played by a black man on the Broadway show.
Okay.
And it's important. It's important.
Yeah.
And that's why I especially when it comes to her playing Elsa, I'm still trying to look up her name because I just want to give her flowers. Let me see. Sierra Renee.
Okay.
She did it for less than a month.
Yeah.
And she played Hawk Girl on Flash and Legends of Tomorrow.
What you had me watch, right?
No, she wasn't.
Sorry, that was
Canary.
That was Black Canary. Sorry.
Yeah. But I just it just makes me sad because I think of like the young black girls who could have went to see Frozen and just be able to see themselves on the stage and that's something that, you know, not to go back to Hamilton, that is so important to Lin that he talks about, and he's often judged for this. But if you read like casting notices for Hamilton, they're now off the casting notices because they were judged so much. But it says non-white actors, and it's his passion and mission to give jobs to people of color.
And that my thing is if there are white actors that have an issue with that,
I have no issue with it.
People of color just don't get the same opportunities.
Well, Lin said coming up, like the only role he could get is Bernardo in West Side Story, that or some Hispanic villain. Yeah, and so it's been his goal to. Yeah, and that it was his goal within the Heights and even Hamilton's. Like, I want to create roles for people of color, and
that's his prerogative.
A lot of people were mad, like, and it's like, relax, like, who cares?
You're not gonna die over a black person playing a role that mainly white people have played before. You're not gonna die from it.
Now, listen, I love Hamilton, and I'd love to have an opportunity to do the show. Mm-hmm. I'm not sweating it though.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
There's gonna be other shows.
It just makes me sad, like, you know, because especially like because Frozen's for kids. So how many young girls, even boys, could have been able to go to Broadway and sit there and see themselves on stage playing a Disney princess?
That's why I'm
There's
excited
not
for
many.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
That's
we've talked
exactly
about that.
why
Like
I'm excited
I'm,
about that.
and people were mad about that too.
Yeah,
people need to shut the fuck up,
bro.
I mean, come on.
You know
Relax.
how many times people have
It's a
gotten into
mermaid.
arguments about a mermaid being casted?
People say, "Oh,
A mermaid.
A black actress can't play a mermaid." Have you ever seen a mermaid, bitch? What? Relax.
It's okay for someone else to take on that role, and you
Yes.
know, like, come on, man. But it is what it is.
So, Frozen to end its run early, sadly. Beetlejuice also has closed officially. It's just sad to see how COVID is affecting. I mean, it's affecting everything, but as far as like actors go, it's like if they aren't performing, they're not making money.
Yeah.
And how hard is it to find a job right now? You know what I mean?
Bro.
It's just sad. Right now, Broadway's not set to reopen until September 6th. So, sadly, I doubt that this is the last show that's going to announce its closure.
With at the rate that everyone's going right now, September 6th is going to get pushed.
Yeah. Now, and that's the thing. What was that movie? I'm trying to think that the Russell Crowe joint that you shared the trailer for.
Unhinged. I didn't watch.
How does that? How does no? Like the trailer looks good, but how does it have a July?
I don't know.
June 1st release
I think
date?
it was July 1st or something like that. That's
because every state is different. Like Governor DeSantis here in Florida is an asshole. Just
Brian Kemp.
he just announced that theaters can reopen June 4th or something like that. Relax, dog. Like
we're not gonna see movies in a theater for a while.
Theaters are gonna open to what? There's no films coming out.
There's nothing coming out, and that's the thing I don't understand. If Hollywood has shut down, essentially shut down, what makes you think we're going to see anything anytime soon?
You're not. Like there's, and that like CW has shifted their schedule, and I don't know how they're going to come back from this because they're, like I said, they do the 2020 to 22 episodes a season. So I don't know how they're going to come back from this. Now they have licensed, they've licensed shows from CBS All Access, Tell Me a Story, and they've licensed Swamp Thing from DC, DC TV. They've licensed these shows to air in between September and December, right? So my thinking is this. Oh, and then the regular shows like Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, All American. These shows are going to come back for their next season at the end of January, early February. And so I'm wondering, are they going to do 22 episode seasons and run through the summer, because that's just going to mess up their schedule? They're supposed to be on hiatus May and June. Yeah. Or are they going to do just for this one time 13 episode seasons?
It would make sense
for that season.
It's the same way it's the same way that it makes sense for the NBA to not come back. Just so that the next season you come back in October, and the schedule doesn't get messed up. Now shorten this season for next season.
Let's talk contracts. So
that's true. Okay.
So as far as film goes and television, I mean, they're contracted for a specific amount of episodes per season. Right. Does CW then have to pay the actors for 14 through 22 that they're not going to do if they just do 13 episodes? Do they still have to pay them? Because if they're going to pay them, they're just going to do it, which doesn't make sense because they're all scheduled. But how does that work for the NBA? They're per season or not? They're not per game.
Well, you did get paid per game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's the NFL. Maybe the NBA is per season. Maybe they are per season, but I know there's only like 5 guys that are guaranteed the rest of the contracts this season.
Yeah.
If the season were to stop, there's only like 5, like maybe 6 to 10 max that are guaranteed to get their pay. So it actually might be game to game for the NBA because there's only a few people that are guaranteed, like LeBron James, Anthony Davis, that are going to get their full pay regardless of them coming back or not. So I think that I think all corporations are going to have to end up restructuring contracts.
Yeah,
that's just it, because I don't see you're either going to restructure or you're going to pay for something that didn't happen.
Yeah,
and I don't know who business wise would do that.
Right.
Who's going to pay for that? I mean, I know there are certain people that are willing, like Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He said he's still keeping his staff paid for the rest of the season, stuff like that. But there are people that are not doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know how the contracts work. We've never seen something like this before. So if we've essentially seen sports in Hollywood shut down, you have to see something that's unprecedented. They're either going to have to restructure or they're going to just have to pay these guys out for like it happened, and then maybe restructure for the next season, next year, however you need to phrase it. But it would make sense to do a 13 to 14 episodes stop and then bring it back for the full 22 the following season. I mean, it's not that we've never seen that before either. We've seen that when shows start out, their first season is usually about 8 to 10, and then they increase it.
Even Prison Break. I mean, Prison Break 1, 2, and 4 were full 20 episode seasons, and now 3 was 13 episodes because of the writer's strike.
Right.
So, in the grand scope of things, people are going to look back and like nobody's going to be mad about it. They're going to be like, "Oh, this happened. It's fine. It's whatever it is." And I'm of the opinion. I didn't used to be, but I'm of the opinion that they could tell a more succinct story in a shorter amount of time than because
you're not spending all this time trying to fill space.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
yes,
and that's why I like the 8 to 13 episode structure. It sucks because things wrap up fast, but there's a more complete story.
Right. Absolutely. So you want to jump into our main topic of discussion now that we're probably over an hour in?
I don't even know what time we're on right now, but yeah, let's do it.
It's 4, dog. I think we started at 2:30.
Yeah, we did.
We're killing it. All right, so our topic of discussion, we're going to talk first. We're going to give our top 5 multicam sitcoms, and then we'll also give our top 5 single cam comedies. I personally, if it's single cam, I'm not calling it a sitcom, situation comedy. I'm not calling it that. I'm going to call it a single cam comedy because, in my opinion, sitcoms are the multicam on stage live audience.
That's the only way you can
do it. If
it's
not that, it's not a sitcom.
It's not a sitcom.
There's a lot of professionals. Yeah, there's a lot of professionals who will still call single cam comedy sitcoms because it's a situation comedy. Yeah. I'm not calling it that. That's not for me.
That either. Yeah.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You go first. Yeah.
Multicam comedies. My top 5, no particular order. Actually, I do have it in order. Number 1, The Cosby Show.
Okay.
Number 2, Friends.
Okay.
Number 3, Martin. Number 4, Fresh Prince. Number 5, Netflix's The Ranch.
Yeah, I still got to see that. I still have to see that.
Now, let me say the reason I love The Ranch. I really do. It's an amazing show, but it is so different than any other multicam sitcom in terms of content because it's R-rated. You really have never never seen an R-rated multicam show.
I've never even heard of that.
And so it is just so different, and the jokes hit harder too because they're vulgar.
Yeah.
So imagine the roar from the audience when okay. I'll give you an example. So you have Sam Elliott. You know who Sam Elliott is. He's Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson's father in the show. And in the pilot episode, Ashton Kutcher is wearing Uggs. And Sam Elliott is this country manly man, right? And so there's like an awkward pause. You see Sam Elliott look down. He's like, "The fuck is on your feet?" And like just the way, like just to hear him, "The fuck is on your feet?" Like it's just the way that hit and the vulgarity of it is just hilarious.
I would have loved to have seen Red from that 70s
Oh
show.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, and let me tell you, because the ranch is produced by Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson.
Yeah.
The crew is the same crew from that 70s show. And every single person that was a lead except for Topher Grace. And also what's her name? Laura, what's her last name? She was in Orange is the New Black. Because she was in Orange is the New Black, and her and Topher Grace did not appear in the ranch. Everybody else did from that 70s show.
Really?
Multiple episodes. Okay. Fez did like 9 episodes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'll check it out. Yeah, because I'm a huge fan of that 70s show, man. Huge.
Yeah. Fan. So you need like tonight. Watch the pilot if you can. It's like 30 minutes. You text me. You let me know what you think because. Like I said, and Sam Elliott is also somebody you wouldn't expect to see in a sitcom.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the funniest thing we've seen him in? The Big Lebowski? Is that the only like? I'm sure he's done other comedies, but that's the one that I think of.
Yeah, that was a beautiful movie.
He's hilarious in the show, and I'll say this too: The Ranch, even though it is a sitcom, there are some dark themes to this.
Okay.
It gets sad. It gets real. There's drug addiction. There's death. It gets really, really sad, but it's really, really funny. And that's why this had to make my top 5 because it's something we haven't seen before. And even though the show has ended, it's something that I think could potentially redefine multicams if things such as HBO Max or Netflix or even Hulu will give that platform to have an R-rated show because obviously the Fox and NBC they can't, and CBS they can't do it. So do you want to give your top 5 multicam?
Yeah, I'll give it real fast.
Okay.
I don't know that I have this in order. I'm not going to say this is in order. I just listed the shows.
You good?
Fresh Prince.
Okay.
Big Bang Theory.
Okay, not mad.
Seinfeld, The Cosby Show, and Martin.
Our list is very similar.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of The Big Bang Theory. I know it's funny. I know it's really funny. And it's going to be on HBO Max. So when that airs,
check it out.
I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it.
Because
I don't like to jump in. They play reruns. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to watch season 7, episode 4 before I've seen anything else.
There's no context to the story.
And a lot of times in multicam sitcoms, there doesn't need to be context. However,
there doesn't need to be, but in order to understand the character, you have to have
Absolutely.
context. So I am the same way. I will not watch a trilogy in out of order. I won't watch a show 5-6 seasons down to go back. My dad can watch stuff like that, and he's never bothered by it. It disturbs me, man.
I can't do it.
It disturbs me.
So I will watch it. I have nothing against the show. I just want to watch it from the beginning.
As a fan of comic books, you're gonna love it.
Yeah,
you're gonna love it.
So
yeah.
Okay, so there's our list.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cosby Show is despite everything
hate on
that
it
has happened,
because of Bill Cosby. I understand the stain that his products have had.
But what the show accomplished is undeniable, and you can't take it away.
You can't deny it, man. That show was so different, and it means so much for Black entertainers and the Black community as a whole. It means something because that we'll be able to see a Black family that was different than just some poor Black family that lived in the projects, like
I mean, Bill Cosby played a doctor,
What's my
and
show?
and Claire Huxtable was a lawyer. Like that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, and we've never seen roles like that before.
Mhm.
You had the Jeffersons where they were
That's a great show too. That could have
and that
made
was
my
great.
list.
That
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah. But it was great to see them in those roles, and their kids were regular kids, but
Yeah.
turned out to be really good. Like they
Mhm.
you can't say anything bad about it. And then it spawned off Different World, which cult classic.
Classic. That almost made my list. That
I
might
don't
have been
see.
6.
I don't
I
know.
love that show.
You know what? Mine six and seven for me were A Different World and That 70s Show.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I can't. I just can't choose. But
Mhm.
in my top 10, those are definitely my top 10. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
I own the box set of A Different World. I collect
Man.
DVDs.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
I love A Different. I believe it's on Hulu too. But
Yeah.
I love it. Actually, let me say my 6 was King of Queens. I love King of
I
Queens.
have to put that in my top 10. I
Yeah.
almost put that in my top 5, but I think what was it? I think Seinfeld bumped them out.
Okay, that's fine.
I think
Like
Seinfeld bumped them out.
Seinfeld's amazing. I used to watch Seinfeld when I would sleep over at my grandparents' house when I was little.
I used to watch it as a kid.
Every night I would watch Seinfeld, and
Because we had
this was
basic
never
cable.
this was never really a show that I loved, but I also grew up watching Roseanne, and I can see the humor in it.
Not me.
But I mean,
I
I'll
couldn't
say
watch
this.
it.
I'll say this. The ridiculous stuff that Roseanne Barr said last year that got the revival canceled. The Connors, the spinoff, is good. That's
I've
fun.
heard nothing but good things about it. I was never into Roseanne to start with.
She's an awful human being.
No, I was never into the show, like let
I knew
alone the woman herself.
I knew as a child she was disgusting.
I didn't know any of that. I just
just like looking at her, I was
laugh.
like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I just knew the laugh, but I'm not mad. Those we have some really good lists here. We have really good lists.
Okay, so let's now go into our single cam. I almost forgot one. This is in order too.
Okay.
I'm going to switch 4 and 5. Okay. So number 1, The Office. Number 2, I hope this is on your list. I almost forgot about it, but I also own this. I also own the box set, The Bernie Mac Show.
Oh my God, I feel so bad. I forgot about Bernie Mac Show. Oh, I love that show.
Bernie Mac Show is amazing.
Oh man.
Now, what are you going to take off your list to put The Bernie Mac Show? We have to hear your list as it is, though. So let me finish.
Yeah.
So The Office, The Bernie Mac Show, Entourage.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, 30 Rock.
Okay.
And number 5 is something that you might not have ever seen because it wasn't a gigantic show. It was on Showtime. Episodes.
I've never seen that.
Episodes is, and I'm rewatching it now.
I've never seen it.
I'm rewatching it now because it's on Netflix. Episodes it takes place in a heightened version of Hollywood. There's some obscure, over-the-top comedy, but basically there's this husband and wife duo. They're British. They're from the UK. They had a very successful show. I forget what the show was called, but in the UK. So basically, the pilot starts with them winning awards for that show, and then they're approached in London by a top executive from America. His name's Mark Lapidus. He's based off somebody, but he's fake or fictional. And he says we want to do an American adaptation of your show on my network. And so basically they come to America to do the adaptation, and they have they have every intention of basically keeping it the same. Mark Lapidus does not. He just knows the show was successful. He didn't even know what it was about. Never seen it. He said he saw every episode. He loved it, which is very realistic. But so what happens is they want to have this British thespian play the lead character, the same one who played the lead in the British version. But Mark Lapidus has a different idea. He wants Matt LeBlanc, a.k.a. Joey Tribbiani from Friends.
Yeah.
To play this headmaster of a school. So
that's why you. So there's a tie to Friends with this show.
I mean, he just plays himself.
So it's not him.
He doesn't. No. Now, Friends did a spinoff of Friends, which shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. That sucked.
Called Joey for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I own those 2 seasons, by the way. I also own the Wayans Brothers and the Jamie Foxx Show. Wayans Brothers my top 10. Jamie Foxx is not quite in my top 10.
Yeah, Wayans Brothers definitely top 10. That was hilarious. I should have put. Yes. Okay. All right. I forgot all about that, man. Jesus.
Wayans Brothers, like I felt guilty about not putting that in my top 5, but it's in my top 10. It's in my top 10.
Okay. All right. So was that your top 5 for?
It's my top 5. Your turn, bro.
All right. So my list originally.
Oh, are you changing it now?
I'm changing it. Yeah, because Bernie Mac is going into it. Most.
It's got to.
I already know what I'm tossing out. But originally, was The Office, and this is in no particular order, but The Office has to be number 1. Outside of that, there's no order.
Okay.
The Office, Malcolm in the Middle.
Okay.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yep.
Modern Family.
Never seen it.
It's hilarious, and it shouldn't be that funny, but it's hilarious. And then Blackish.
Blackish was almost made my list.
So you know what I'm taking out for Bernie Mac?
Modern Family?
No, Malcolm in the Middle.
No, okay. I'm not mad at it. I never really got into that show.
It was funny. It's
funny. I've seen it, but
it actually made me appreciate Breaking Bad that much more.
To know he
has that range, because we did not see that in Malcolm in the Middle. No. Malcolm in the Middle was just dumb. It was hilarious.
So did you? You had seen Malcolm in the Middle before Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah, I was a big Malcolm in the Middle fan. Yeah, that was a funny show.
You know what? Not to change the subject, but I think it's crazy because Frankie Muniz had suffered an injury and he can't remember anything from Malcolm in the Middle. Like he watched the series and he's like, I don't remember anything. Like, that's sad.
That's horrible. Yeah, man.
But your list ain't bad.
Bernie Mac is going in because that was funny as hell. That was funny as hell. And I was just watching a clip of his stand up the other day.
Yeah.
I miss Bernie Mac, man. Can you imagine what he would be doing right now if he was still alive?
What's crazy is his last film was Transformers.
Yeah. That was very odd.
I mean, yeah.
Very odd.
Did I say I own the Bernie Mac show, by the way?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, it's on net. Or I think it might have came down from Netflix. It was on Netflix, but
it was.
The Bernie Mac show is just him yelling at the boys.
Bro,
always funny.
That kid, hilarious.
Yeah,
hilarious, man.
The Bernie Mac show is just nobody talks about it.
No,
and I don't know why.
We should do a review on the series. I had to go back and watch it again because I watched it as a kid. Yeah. So I know the appreciation for it will be even more as an adult. Mm-hmm. But I watched it when it first came out, loved it, was hoping for more. And that
they do 5 seasons and get canceled.
Yeah. But can you imagine where they would be right now? Like if they had gone a couple more seasons with that show, and Bernie was alive today.
Imagine if they revived it. No, man.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Oh man, that would have been hilarious. Bernie Mac was
I
definitely one of my top favorite stand-ups.
That should be a list we do too. Top 5 stand-ups.
Should.
Um,
Yeah, because
but
honestly,
I love.
Bill Cosby is underrated in that.
Yeah, people
Definitely
don't want to
underrated.
give him flowers not only because of what happened, but because he was clean too.
Yeah,
Um,
just I separate the art from the artist.
yeah.
Now, if your stupidity is in your art, like R. Kelly, it's hard for me to take in your art.
Now, did what happened with I forget the actor's name, but what happened with Kramer when he was doing stand-up? Did that hurt how you viewed Seinfeld, or at least Kramer?
For a while, it did.
Yeah.
For a while, it did. But funny enough, I actually kind of like looked beyond it and just paid attention to the show because the show wasn't
Really?
Kramer.
No.
He was a funny part of it, but it wasn't Kramer.
Yeah.
It was the ensemble. And so
Mm.
I looked past. I didn't ignore it. Didn't look past it in terms of saying, oh, you know, he's okay. No, he's not. Michael Richards. I don't mess with him.
Yeah.
But
Now, do you watch comedians in cars getting coffee?
I've seen a few episodes. I've seen the
Well,
episode with
show
Eddie Murphy.
that's honestly, bro. I don't even care if I like the guest. Like every episode's good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have not seen.
Jerry's
There's
good.
been
Jerry's
yeah.
good.
I haven't seen, and he's got to be a top 5 stand up.
I never paid attention to stand up outside of the show.
He just did a special.
I did see that it was dropped on. I do want to check it out.
Yeah.
But I've never paid attention to his stand up outside of the show. So for me to be able to, I can't give an opinion on his actual stand up.
Are you putting Kevin Hart there, or do you think he's overrated as a stand up?
He's not in my top 5.
Top 10.
Based off of hard work and hard work his work ethic, all that stuff. Hell yeah, I respect him. But
I've at least enjoyed every special. The last 2 weren't as funny.
I've enjoyed every special except the I think it was the one before last where he was
Let Me Explain?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Whichever one where he was using this LED board behind him to show these pictures, and they like he was telling stories, and so they had a background of whatever. That special right there for me was just horrible. But everything else that he's done, masterful. So maybe when I do write my list out, I might put him in there because of that. The specials are pretty much flawless, except that one. So I'm gonna have to go and evaluate.
I can't think of. I don't know if it's. I think it's Seriously Funny, the one he filmed in Cleveland. And LeBron was in the audience.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That's my favorite. That was my favorite.
That was hilarious, man.
That was my favorite. I've loved Kevin Hart. Look, you're gonna clown me. I don't even hate Soul Plane.
I never watched it.
It's not a good movie, but it's.
I've seen parts of it, but I've never.
I can watch it.
Scared to watch it.
I can watch it and can tell. I know it's not a good movie, but it's one of those guilty pleasure movies. Like it's.
Yeah.
Tom Arnold's in it.
That's one of those movies that you watch on the weekends when there's nothing on TV.
Listen, and it's always on BET.
It's always on BET.
Witherspoon is hilarious in that movie. He plays a blind man, a fake. I think they don't really confirm it, but I believe a fake blind man who's always reaching out and touching stewardess's ass. And
I love
which is so offensive now, but they couldn't get away with that now. But
his wife actually was in the movie with him.
Was she? I didn't even know.
Yeah, I think it was the lady that he was talking to on the plane, I think.
That was my first time seeing Monique, by the way.
That was your first time being introduced to Monique?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I used to watch the Parkers.
Yeah.
Again, I grew up with basic cable, so you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Since we're talking about comedians and I brought up Soul Plane, do you ever watch any of the roasts?
Shaq's roast, or
I think this was
on Comedy Central.
Comedy Central, yeah.
I've seen a couple of them. I've seen a
Did
couple.
you watch
I'm not.
the
I'm not a
Justin
big
Bieber
fan
one?
of them. Was that the one where he came down at the ceiling on a tightrope or something like that?
I don't know.
I
By the
think
way, the Donald Trump roast is hilarious.
that was funny. I saw parts of it.
That's funny.
I didn't get to see the whole thing, but I did see parts
Anybody
of it.
making fun of Donald Trump, I love.
I'm gonna go back and watch it.
There. I remember Seth MacFarlane. He hosted it, and he says, Donald Trump likes to say that one day he'll run for president. I like to say he's fucking delusional.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
I will go back and watch that one because I didn't understand a lot of the jokes back then when I watched it. You know, it just I was just like, oh, yeah, all right.
Now back to the Soul Plane topic, the roast of Justin Bieber, Pete Davidson.
Oh yeah,
was there.
Yeah.
Now, if you know anything about Pete Davidson, his father died in 9/11. He was a fireman. And he mentions that early on in his set. And then he says, by the way, two stars of the movie Soul Plane are here. And I just want to let y'all know that Soul Plane is the worst experience I've ever had in my life involving a plane. I'm like, oh my God. Like,
oh, snap.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go back and watch that one too.
Yeah.
That Pete Davidson is I think he's someone that I'm interested in seeing his new show.
Movie?
Yeah, is that a movie? Yeah,
it's a movie. Yeah,
I'm intrigued with watching it because there's he's got elements. He's funny. I was introduced to him on Guy Code. Did you ever watch that? I was introduced to him on that show. So I've been following him a little bit after that, but
yeah,
I definitely want to watch that.
And I respect him a lot too because of the depression element.
Yeah,
but he's still like works.
He has anxiety and
it's crippling, and he still manages to work. So, but yeah, man, this has been a long ass episode.
This has probably been our longest one, huh?
Yeah, and it might have been our best one.
Probably, I think so. Yeah.
Like,
I definitely
and
so.
that's how you know too, because we weren't paying attention at the time.
Nah, I can't see the time code anymore since we switched to Zoom.
Oh, well, okay. I think it was like 2:30, so it's 2 hours.
2 hours, solid. That's solid.
It's good. I'm gonna listen to it.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to this one, man. This was good.
Yeah. All right, so that has been a long ass episode of Realish, and we'll be back next week with another one. Derrick, my guy.
Always great, bro.
Enjoy your weekend, and to the audience, we'll see y'all next week.